Well, hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Richard and this is Lap of the World, your home for road trips and racetracks. And we have indeed road tripped to a racetrack. I'm sitting in the paddock of Roebling Road Raceway, or just outside, I guess, Savannah, Georgia. So this is sort of an aside video, a little bonus video, I guess, if you want to call it that, because it's a bit moist out here. I drove through a little bit of a rain on the way in. Forecast for today looks good. I'm optimistic, but it's questionable on paper. So I was going to play with a new toy that I've gotten for the paddock space, if you will. Now usually what I do is I just kind of junk everything out of the car, cover what I need to in trash bags if it's sensitive, and then kind of go from there as just a kind of rain contingency. I have some, like I said, just a roll of trash bags that I can put over stuff if I need to, but I think I may have a better way. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Yeah, so what you're looking at there is an under-the-weather pod. I tried to think of a way a while ago that I could have a quickly deployable, weatherproof, and sort of somewhat shade-providing device. I would say structure, but it's not really that substantial. To just throw up in my paddock space and be able to both protect my water sensitive stuff and give me a place to kind of chill if I needed to, or either get out of the rain or get out of the sun, whichever the case may be. Could be either by the end of the day today, we don't know. I am not sponsored by Under the Weather Pods. However, I will leave an Amazon affiliate link if you want to buy one of these, depending on how the rest of the video goes, because again, this is my first time using it. I'm learning as you're learning. It's even a mystery to me if I'll be able to fold the thing back up, knowing how the traditional woes of pop-up tents go. But yeah, so far so good. It went up very easily. I think I've got one side of it may be a little crooked still, but I'll fix that here in a second. And then I'm going to put all my stuff in it. I do have ground stakes for it to keep it from blowing away if it gets windy. But I'll get it kind of populated here and give you a little bit closer tour in a moment. Alright guys, so I haven't taken pause to drive my first session. Let me take you on a tour, LOTW crib style tour of our sort of remote headquarters here, our summer home, if you will. So we have the pod itself that you saw me set up. I'll back up here so it's all in frame. So you got the little pop-up pod there that was easy to deploy. Now your fun at the end of the video will probably be seeing me struggle to get this back in its bag, but I did practice one, so I should be able to accomplish that. But it does have has a key points. It has a waterproof floor, has plastic sides, and it has this little rain fly, a little waterproof hat you put on it in case it's going to rain. Do note that they are not, they don't advertise this to be a rain shelter unless you put the little rain fly on. But I've been able to organize the inside of this pretty well. So we've got some kind of camera bags, overnight bag, cooler snack bag. My roadside bag is back behind that, and I still had enough room left for my little collapsible backpacking chair there. Now obviously I haven't been able to put everything in here. Some of my stuff is still sitting out, but it's the stuff that is either in a waterproof container or that is just not water sensitive in general if it were to get rained on. So, I will report back at the end of the day how actually effective this is, but right now it looks like it's it's up and it holds everything. I guess one thing I discovered, so I did, it has, three sides of it are transparent. The fourth side here is not transparent critically. It's not completely opaque. It lets a little bit of light, light through, but it's opaque enough to provide some shade. So I kind of have it oriented towards the sun up there, and that should keep my cooler and food bag out of the sun, which will be nice. And then also, if I need to come and take a break midday, I can keep myself out of the sun. And with the side panels unzipped and the door open, I'll still get a little bit of this breeze that's blowing through. Right, so part of the way through a somewhat humid afternoon, I can give one piece of feedback, and that as a shade implement, it is not perfect, but it is distinctly better than nothing. One point of order, I have had to kind of clock it around as the sun has moved across the sky, because only one of the panels is not clear. The rest of this stuff is see-through, so it wouldn't do much good. Then it would just be a greenhouse. But it is definitely not a greenhouse. If I sit under here and kind of relax a little bit, I definitely feel cooler than if I were standing outside in the, actually getting hit by the sun. So from that standpoint, I'm a happy camper. Again, it is definitely a kind of, you could fit two very small people in here if you needed to, especially without a chair. If you were just sitting on the ground, you could fit a couple of people in here, but it would be very cozy. So yeah, one person affair. If you don't mind moving in a little bit, then it definitely works as shade. Considering the alternative, I definitely, an easy up would be the way to go, or the traditional go-to track day shelter. But compared to the packing footprint of an easy up, which would take up the entire trunk of the NSX, if it would even fit, this rolls up into, maybe a 15-inch circle that's about 4 inches thick. I was able to fit it, I'm short so I can do this, but I was able to fit it behind the driver's seat in its bag with no trouble, and not having to cramp myself at all from my normal driving position. But if you're a taller person, don't count on that, but it would definitely fit in the where the spare tire or the tire takeoff kind of well is in the trunk. It would probably fit elsewhere in the trunk too, but at the very least it would fit there, and then you could pile some crap on top of it if you needed to. But yeah. So that's my feedback so far for the afternoon. We'll see if we get to test it out for rainproofness or not. If we do, great. If we don't, I don't care. I'd rather drive in the dry. So we may or may not get to that part of the review, but so this is what I get for speaking flippantly about rain. So yeah, we went out for my last session there, and about 3 or 4 laps in, the heavens opened. We got a little bit of rain, and by a little bit of rain I mean torrential, this much. So I came back in to the paddock and found that the pod had largely done its job in spite of me. So yeah, I had zipped up everything, the little windows and all that, but I had left the front door completely open. Now, I'm just lucky in that both the direction that the rain blew in meant that the actually secured sides took the brunt of it, and then also it had the forethought, or just sort of reflex, I guess, to put all of the important stuff kind of towards the back. So yeah, a few things got a little bit moist that were sitting on the floor because the rain dripped in through the door where I had left it open. Any protective measures you take are only as good as the weakest link. In this case, so yeah, but it did its job, kept everything dry. The camera on which I'm filming this was in there, in my little chair, and it is functional. So and then I also have dry clothes for later, so that's always a good thing. But yeah, so is it a perfect solution? No, I mean, if you're driving a bigger vehicle, you still probably want something like an easy up or a legitimate tent for best weatherproofing results and convenience, especially if you're traveling with more than one person. But if you are a one-man or woman band, this 100% works as advertised. It gave me some shade when I wanted shade, and it protected all of my stuff when the rain came through. It would have been even better if I would have had absolutely nothing, even tools and stuff that I left out deliberately, but nothing else would have been even mildly damp, I think, had I bothered to shut the door before I went out for the session. But in my defense, coastal weather, didn't see it coming, but lesson learned there. So yeah, could recommend. I'll leave, again, if you're interested in looking at them, I'll leave a link in the description below. It will be an affiliate link, so if you do want to buy one, if you buy one from there, it helps me out. I get a little kickback from that. But having said that, that's my little weirdo track vlog, paddock vlog product review for today. So I hope you've been entertained or informed, if not entertained, whatever the case may be. But yep, that's what we're going to call it. Again, thanks for watching. Hope this helped somebody out. But until next time, I'm Richard. This is Lap of the World, and I will see you all guys in the next video, if not at the track.